Please rise in body or spirit as we sing our gathering music. Come, come, whoever you are. And we'll do this in two parts. Tristan will handle this half, and I'll handle this half. And we'll sing it through twice in unison, and then twice in round.
All right.
Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come.
Thank you. Welcome one and all to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Hillsborough, where we constantly strive to be an open and welcoming congregation to all who seek community and support. We don't require that you adhere to one specific creed or common belief, but rather we are a covenant community committed to loving, listening to, and supporting each other in our individual lifelong search for truth and meaning in matters of our personal faith. So whoever you are, guest, friend, member, and whatever guided you to join us here, either in person or online, we welcome you. My name is Dave Yelton, and it's my honor and privilege as to be the worship coordinator to help bring you today's service. As a lay-led congregation, there are a lot of contributing volunteers, many behind the scenes who make our services and our classes and activities possible. A special thanks today to Tristan Serini, who is providing our service music today while Aviva is on her vacation out west. So give a big thank you to everyone else who helps make this a great place to gather and grow in spirit, community, and in love. And I'm pleased to introduce our guest speaker today, Sarah Clark Farnell, making a return visit to us. I think it's her third that I think we figured out, to deliver a message entitled Inviting Joy During Troubled Times. Sarah is a seminary graduate and a candidate for UU ministry. She's currently working as a chaplain resident at Duke University Hospital. She claims she's a mother of three joyous and challenging children, in her words. She loves salsa dancing and is learning Spanish. So it sounds like an exciting vacation in the offing. All right. So Sarah, we welcome you, and we look forward to hearing you be blessed by your message today. Before we create our time for worship, let's take a moment to share any important announcements. With our new printed order of service, you'll notice that on the back are most of the weekly announcements that come out on our weekly, unless there's a clarification of one of those. So we really just need, if there are any other announcements for the good of the community, please come forward to the side mic and share that information with us at this time.
Let's go nuts and write some postcards after the service. I'll be in the library.
Maybe this belongs in joys and concerns, I don't know. If somebody took the thermometer out of the refrigerator, please let me know. I'm measuring it because I think the temperature is a little bit low. Too high, I mean. And so it's not there anymore, so just let me know where it is if anyone knows.
2015 meeting is in the bulletin, but it does not say via Zoom. Because it's a weeknight, we're gonna meet via Zoom. So look for the link, I hope will come if Amy comes back in time.
This is also a good time to check your cell phone, make sure it's in quiet or worship mode. I think I need to do that myself. We will enjoy coffee and tea after the service here in the back of the sanctuary. So please, if you're a visitor with us today, please join us for that. We'll enjoy getting to know you better in a relaxed atmosphere over coffee. And we will be starting in October a more intense campaign for collecting OCIM food pantry. Yes, we're behind in our year-long goal, but we're going to start in October and try to come up with a new goal of about approximately 100 pounds per month. That'll be a stretch goal, but we want to catch up and sort of match what we did last year. We were hoping to go a little beyond, but we'll try to catch what we did in the last quarter of this year. If there are no more announcements, let's prepare ourselves for our time of worship together. Let us begin with the lighting of our chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, with these words entitled A Spell for Warriors and Heroes by Atina O'Danner. I call on the powers of rest, play, and joy to stand between me and despair and burnout. I call on beloved community. Guide me toward life, toward love, toward care. May it be so.
The call to worship for this morning is titled Boldly You Must Hang Your Light by Julian Jamaica Soto. If I sent you a text, it would say simply, I have good news. Would you text me that? If I sent you a note on my very best postcard with a sticker and a postage stamp that said, you are not going to believe this, in a way meant to allow you to suspend some disbelief, not tease you for being skeptical, would you read the inside? You are used to casual mentions of the place where you belong, faith, ethics, love, and action. But what if more were possible? What if you had a sign, garish, neon, bringing with enthusiasm the occasional blink and an ongoing bug zapper buzz? You are the oasis. You are the hospital for broken hearts. Whatever it is that keeps you shy, reserved, appropriate in telling where it is that folks can belong and grow back their injured hearts is worth a challenge. Grow unashamed at your own healing and connection. Grow proud of your diligence in keeping mutually dependent promises. Grow affectionate and supportive toward your community, even though it is imperfect. But most of all, be foolish for love, tender-hearted for love, and bold for love. Boldly you must hang your light, neon buzzing bright, and do not be chagrined when your light blinks. It is a silent song of yes, you. You are welcome here. Boldly give your love and arrive at your joy.
As we continue in our worship, let's see. Today being the celebration of our Mother Earth's midway point between summer and winter solstices, the time when the equal hours of day and night, we invoke the spirit of autumnal equinox with these words. Spirit of the West, Spirit of water, of evening and autumn, be with us as the sun begins to set, and help us enjoy a rich harvest. Flow through us with a cooling, healing quietness, and bring us peace. Now please rise in body or spirit as we sing our opening hymn, number 73, Chant for the Seasons. This will be the autumn verse only, which is the first verse. Ours is a welcoming community where we find connection, a sharing community where our joys are celebrated, and a caring community where our sorrows are lessened. Each Sunday, we take this time to reflect on special happenings that have occurred this week among our members and friends. Some choose to share aloud, while others choose to remain silent, and here we make room for both. And if you'd like to speak with someone about on our care team, please contact Patty O'Connor. Now, for those of you who would like to share aloud, please take a moment before we begin. Please center yourself and collect your thoughts so that what you have to share with us this morning is personal, heartfelt, and brief. Those of you who would prefer to silently acknowledge your joy, okay. Those of you who would prefer to silently acknowledge your joys and concerns remaining in your heart, I invite you to come to the altar and release a stone into the vase in silence while Tristan plays Voice Still and Small. After he plays through it one time, you're all invited to join in singing this meditation song. Words are printed in your order of service. These things within the heart of this community, both spoken and unspoken, by remaining silent for a moment as we consider what has been shared and how we might respond. Let's close together with Amen and blessed be.
Amen and blessed be.
Now, as we get ready to sing our children out, is there a member of the RE that would like to speak a word about what's going on in the RE curriculum? There's Shona.
Hi, today we're continuing our read-through of our sacred story skits, and we will begin drawing the sets. So, exciting time.
So it is time to send them off by singing the children's blessing. And that's why we've got the words printed in the order of service.
Back of the hymnal as well.
Also back at the hymnal, anyway.
Today's reading is titled A Blessing for Finding Delight in a Difficult Day by Kate Fuller. Blessed are you when life has handed you yet another serious mess. Instead of turning straight to worry or despair or fear or dread, you set it down for a moment and say, I'll get to that later. I've got something ridiculous to do, and it's urgent. Blessed are you who do something you've never tried that must be done right now because failing doesn't matter. You know that it feels so good to try. Blessed are we, the responsible, who take a non-linear path, who, as the poet Wendell Berry says, every day do something that won't compute, who know that right when life gets heavy or hard or too much, we must carve a path to delight, who do something for no reason whatsoever but for joy. Blessed are you who see the art in absurdity, because when you think about it, life is unexpectedly and terribly and wonderfully absurd. So why don't we just embrace it? So blessed are you when you grow too many tomatoes of more than one variety, or solve a mystery while playing interactive glow-in-the-dark miniature golf, or who learn a new dance, or create a band out of kitchen instruments, or make a cake that looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. You only name it such in retrospect. This is only the beginning. Good morning. Thank you all so much for inviting me to be with you here today. I very much appreciate it. And I have good news. Joy can be yours. All you have to do is want it. See how I do joy? Very demure, very mindful. Yeah, okay, so that is not exactly how it works. I wish it were that simple, but it just isn't. There are so many things that get in the way of joy: exhaustion, politics, grief, depression, global warming, big things. And yet here we are, in the words of Mary Oliver, trying to make the most of our one wild and precious life. Given the finitude of our time here on this earth, it makes sense to want to soak up as much joy as possible. But how can we do this when everything is on fire? Today, I'm going to be talking about what it might look like to extend an invitation to joy. I like the metaphor of an invitation because there's a gentleness to it. An invitation isn't a demand. You can say no to an invitation if the timing isn't right, or the setting, or the company. You can say, no, I just couldn't possibly do joy today. And sometimes that is our reality. Sometimes it's just not the season for joy. Maybe your partner just left. Maybe you received bad medical news. Maybe you are in pain, be it spiritual, emotional, or physical. Sometimes instead of joy, the work we are called to do is lament. As Kate Bowler says, blessed are you who mourn, saying, let me stay here in grief's cold winter for as long as it takes. On the other hand, if the stars align, you can also say yes to an invitation. You can say, sure, why not? Let's give it a go. See what happens. Oftentimes, the work of grief and the work of joy coexist. I'm not totally sure how this is possible, but I know it to be true. I'm a chaplain resident at Duke University Hospital. This means I spend 50 plus hours a week in the work of accompanying people through crisis and heartache. I see the coexistence of joy and grief every day. I see it in the dying patient who can still make me laugh so hard I almost pee my pants. In my coworkers who go into difficult rooms every day and still make space to go to woohoo land every Friday. If you're wondering what woohoo land is, do not despair. All will be revealed in good time. Yeah, mystery. I want to pause and talk about something really close to my heart, which is mental illness and mental health. Sometimes we cannot feel joy, try as we might, because we are deep in a mental health crisis. And I speak from experience here. The comic writer Ali Brosh describes what it feels like when people try to talk to you about joy and hope when you are depressed. She writes, people want to help, so they try harder to make you feel hopeful and positive about the situation. You explain it again, hoping they'll try a less hope-centric approach. but re-explaining your total inability to experience joy inevitably sounds kind of negative, like maybe you want to be depressed. The positivity starts coming out in a spray, a giant, desperate happiness sprinkler pointed directly at your face. And it keeps going like that until you're having this weird argument where you're trying to convince the person that you are far too hopeless for hope, just so they'll give up on their optimism crusade and let you go back to feeling bored and lonely by yourself. If this is you listening to this sermon today, I see you. And if this sermon feels like a happiness sprinkler pointed directly at your face, I give you permission to just ignore everything I'm saying. I will add that for me, mental health support in the form of therapy and medication have been life-giving and life-saving. I highly encourage anyone today struggling with mental health to reach out for help if you haven't already. You deserve to feel better. Also, I'm an open book about my own journey with mental illness, and I am happy to talk more about it anytime. Okay, back to joy. So many things get in the way of joy. I've already named a few, but there are more, unfortunately. Sometimes what gets in the way of joy is fear. What if I allow myself to be happy and something bad happens? Will I jinx myself? Will I look foolish when things fall apart? And, well, I felt this acutely after the death of my sister when we were in our 20s. How in the world could I risk joy after something like that? How silly would I look when things inevitably fell apart again? And things do fall apart. Anne Lamott writes, most of us figure out by a certain age, some of us later than others, that life unspools in cycles, some lovely, some painful, but in no particular order. So you could have lovely, painful, and painful again, which I think we all agree is not at all fair. It's not fair, and yet here we are. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, mental health treatment helped me move through much of the fear I had around letting joy back into my life after my sister died. With help, I was able to see the magical thinking I was doing around fear and joy for what it was, magical and unhelpful. With time, I've also come to believe that living joyfully is a way of honoring my sister's memory. Not to sound cheesy, but my sister would have wanted me to be happy. Of course, she would have liked to have been here to see it herself, but such is the unschooling of life. Such is the dance of joy and grief, happiness and lament, and as one of my sister's favorite songs says, by Garth Brooks, I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. Sometimes what gets in the way of joy is shame. Do I deserve to be happy? Why me? Why me when there are so many people in this world in pain? Why me when I'm an imperfect person? Why me when I've been the source of another's pain before? I think the answer lies in our Unitarian Universalist values, especially in the value of equity. This value declares that every person has the right to flourish with inherent dignity and worthiness. Surely, part of human flourishing is joy. Our capitalist culture leads us to internalize scarcity, as in there's only so much to go around, and if some get more, others get less. But I don't think that's how joy works. Joy is not a finite resource. Perhaps what joy is, however, is an act of defiance, a way of pushing back against death-dealing forces in the world, such as homophobia, transphobia, racism, and patriarchy. I read an essay recently on transphobia and religion, which painted a rather bleak picture of the trans experience, or more accurately, trans experiences. The article didn't sit well with me, and it took me a while to figure out why. I finally figured out that the essay accurately captured the pain that can accompany the trans experience, but it completely left out the joy of it. The joy of self-discovery, the joy of authentic living, the joy of loving relationships with people who truly see and embrace you. Yes, there is pain, but there is also so much joy. I think about drag as a joyous act of resistance. I think about Black Girl Magic. I think about pride parades, HBCU homecomings, the excitement around Kamala Harris. These are joyous acts of defiance in a world that works to keep certain people down and out. In the words of the poet Jack Gilbert, we must risk delight. We must have the stubbornness to accept our gladness in the ruthless furnace of the world. To make injustice the only measure of our intention is to praise the devil. Or insert some Unitarian Universalist word for the devil, right? So what if you are ready to extend an invitation to joy? How would you go about this? Thankfully, research suggests that happiness is a muscle we can develop. Interestingly, the research suggests that enhancing the positive in one's life, rather than trying to decrease the negative, may be the way to go about it, which is great news because so much of the negative stuff in our lives is completely outside of our control. One way we can develop the happiness muscle is by deliberately cultivating experiences of joy. This could look like scheduling at least one thing into your day, every day, that you know will make you happy, whether you feel like it or not. A podcast I enjoy ends each episode with a section titled, "What is Making Us Happy This Week?" And I'm going to steal this idea and invite you to turn to someone or someone's, couple, 2 or 3 people near you for a quick brainstorming session on what is making you happy this week. I'm going to ask you to share at least one thing that is bringing you joy. This could be something deep and profound like your grandkids or your meditation practice, but it could also be something much more mundane, like a really good TV show or a podcast or a song that's just really doing it for you right now. Okay, you got that? Go.
There
All right, I'm gonna invite you to start wrapping up, maybe 30 more seconds.
Mine's very simple and not profound. It's a very good thing, so.
Yes.
It's not like, oh, and I made, so I can't eat all the things they make, but I can take care of things for the show.
All right.
So,
Did you get some ideas? Any ideas? Yeah? Okay. My hope is that you now have some ideas for cultivating joy into your own life. Maybe you can weave those into your week coming up. I'm going to end this sermon with a practice that makes me happy each and every week. Each and every week at work on Friday, we end the week by going to Woohoo Land to celebrate all the work we poured into the hospital that week. And now I invite you to go to Woohoo Land with me. At the end of the aisles, there's like one, well, there's baskets underneath the seats. There's one for each section. So I think there's one near Cliff, one under this seat, and one where nobody is. Oh, you got it. Okay, they have little bubble wands in them. So I invite you to hand them around and get yourself a bubble wand. I'll explain everything, don't worry.
Bubbles make everything better.
I think so.
I'm a pre-K teacher. Trust me, bubbles make everything better.
Love it. Okay, so you're gonna get your bubbles ready. We're gonna go to Woohoo Land, which is exactly what it sounds like. On the count of 3, you'll just yell out woohoo and blow your bubbles. Okay?
Yes.
Think you can do that?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Bubbles! Bubbles! That was great, especially for your first try. No, just kidding, it was really great. I thank you for taking that little trip with me and for accepting the invitation of silliness, togetherness, and joy. May the upcoming week be gentle on you, and may joy, however fleeting, be with you. Thank you.
Quite a celebratory moment. Great. Thanks, Sarah.
You have to stop blowing the bubbles now. We have to stop.
Keep blowing up. At this time, each Sunday, we take our monetary offering to support various worthy causes in the Orange County community. For the month of September, we've designated that our offering plate goes to the Justice United of Orange County. So please donate by placing a cash or checks in the offering basket. And if it's by check, please write plate in the memo line. Or you can go to our website and click on donate, the donate button there. Or you can use the QR code printed in our order of service. We thank you for your generosity.
My wife might have actually touched on it a little early, but the bubbles would actually blend fairly well aesthetically with today's offertory. So if you want to keep blowing bubbles, please feel free to do so.
I think the word for that is delight. Please join me in our prayer of collective gratitude found in your order of service. For the love that surrounds us every morning, for the friends beside us, and for the generous gifts just received, let us be truly grateful. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing hymn, number 108, My Life Flows On.
Closing words for today are in two parts. The first is a tweet, and the second part is a response to that tweet. The tweet reads, could we, without relentlessly criticizing, let people have their pumpkin spice and avocado toast and their fandoms and their D&D and their too early Halloween decorations, which is going on at our house, and whatever little harmless things in which they manage to find a teeny shriveled flower of joy. And the response by UU Minister Erica Hewitt, love who holds us all. On some days, this earthly existence is hard. Thank you for our capacity to be comforted, dazzled, and delighted by harmless pleasures and small joys. Help us keep faith with the 11th commandment, thou shalt not yuck someone else's yum.
Now, before we extinguish our UU chalice, just a quick bid farewell and adieu to the spirit of the west of the autumnal equinox. So farewell and adieu. Now let us extinguish our sacred UU chalice with the words printed in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts, and It's who we are together. Go in peace, my friends, and blessed be. I've got your check right here.
Okay. How about that? Thanks.
That's the name on the inside.
Right, hopefully. Yeah, thank you. Oh, I love that. Thank you. I appreciate that. And you're nice to meet you. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.